There's something most people are getting wrong about Bitcoin right now, and it's not the price, it's not the indicators. It goes deeper than that. And once you understand it, you'll start seeing the market in a completely different way. So stick around, because in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what's going on, which levels actually matter, and why I believe we're very close to a major move. Let's start with the basics, with the simple question: why are there moves in Bitcoin that so many people fail to anticipate? The answer is straightforward: they're looking in the wrong place. The market moves in steps, almost like a staircase, and understanding those levels gives you a very clear structure. On top of that, I also keep a close eye on what the big players are doing: institutions, whales, major capital flows, overall liquidity. Because let's be real, whether we like it or not, they're the ones moving the market. And many times what you see on the chart is the exact opposite of what's actually happening behind the scenes. Right now, the map is pretty clear. On the downside, we've got a strong support zone around 74,000. On the upside, around 79,000 is where price is facing friction. Below that, there are other relevant zones at 79,000 in the Lothan, but realistically, those don't look like levels we're likely to revisit in the short term. Looking further ahead, the targets point to more interesting territory above $80,000, as I've mentioned before. That's the map. And once you have it clear, you stop improvising. But the map alone means nothing without volume. Volume is where real intent shows up. When price approaches those key levels, that's when you need to zoom in and pay close attention, because that's where everything gets decided. They see consolidation, sideways movement, lack of momentum, no clear breakout, and immediately assume weakness. I don't see it that way. Often when price pauses after reclaiming an important level, it's not weakening, it's breathing, it's consolidating, and that changes everything, because there's a big difference between a market that stalls due to lack of buyers and one that's building energy for the next move. Right now, I believe we're closer to the second scenario. There's something else too. Bitcoin has broken out of a range and had been stuck in for quite some time. It doesn't mean we're going straight to all-time highs tomorrow, but it does mean the market is showing a different face. Now, I know many of you are probably wondering, if that's the case, why isn't it moving up strongly? That's a great question. If the market isn't weak, what's holding it back? There are two factors I'm watching closely. The first is the options market. There are price zones where certain participants have an incentive for Bitcoin not to move beyond specific levels before expiration dates. That creates temporary ceiling. The second factor is the funding rate. Right now, a lot of traders are positioned for a drop, and when too many people are on the same side, the market often moves against them. If everyone is short expecting a crash, the market doesn't need to fall. It can go up and liquidate them instead. There's an interesting signal worth watching: gold. Typically, when there's real fear in the system, gold rallies hard as a safe haven. But right now, we're seeing the opposite. Gold is correcting. That suggests there's no extreme demand for protection, and the system may not be as stressed as it seems. Indirectly, that supports the idea that there's still enough liquidity to sustain the market. If a meaningful positive catalyst appears, an agreement, easing tensions, any sign of stability, that capital has to go somewhere. And crypto is one of the main candidates. On the other hand, if tensions escalate, we could see downside pressure. But even then, as long as the system remains structurally sound, without cascading liquidations or massive margin calls, those dips could be temporary and turn into opportunities. Because a healthy market isn't one that never drops, it's one that can drop without breaking. On top of all this, there's breaking news. Tensions between the US and Iran have shifted significantly, with both sides agreeing to an indefinite ceasefire. But now, the situation enters a kind of strategic pause, with the international community watching closely as talks move forward, with plenty of uncertainty still on the table. Before moving into the final scenario, I want to warn you about something. A lot of people are comparing everything to 22, saying the structure looks similar, the chart resembles that crash, and that another collapse is coming. Be careful with that. Markets don't repeat exactly. They rhyme, but they don't copy and paste. If your entire analysis is based on the idea that this year must behave like a past cycle, I believe Bitcoin is in a transition zone. It could continue ranging for a few more days. It could even dip briefly to flush out leverage positions. But as long as it holds the key levels we've discussed, and as long as internal data doesn't shift, I don't see a reason to turn aggressively bearish. And if price breaks above 79999 even with conviction and strong volume, there isn't much heavy resistance above. Solid projects, smart money involved, real utility. Just because something has dropped a lot doesn't automatically make it an opportunity. We've seen that play out many times. To wrap up, there's one key takeaway from this entire video. In markets like this, most people don't lose because they lack intelligence. They lose because they lack patience. They want to be right now. They want to enter before everyone else. They try to predict the next big move before it happens. But often, the best trade is no trade at all. Wait for the market to define itself. Wait for it to show its hand. Wait until probability is on your side. Right now, I do believe we're very close to a major move. But the final direction hasn't fully revealed defined it. So for now, it's simple: patience, a clear mind, proper risk management, and don't get married to any single scenario. Stay flexible. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Stay sharp,